So Rachel Zegler, who has been in the news quite a bit lately because Disney is having a very hard time spinning the narrative that she isn't a genuinely awful human being, she wore a sweatshirt recently with song lyrics on it. No tears left to cry, right?
This is an Ariana Grande lyric, and she decided to wear this No Tears Left to Cry sweatshirt in public as a hidden message to clap back at her haters. They're hating on her because she has been openly trashing Snow White and the original story, calling the prince a stalker, saying, it's not feminist enough.
So gross.
And I guess since the strikes are going on and she's not permitted to talk about her projects right now, that's a bit of a relief for Disney.
Here's a picture of her in the
This is her only way of communicating to the public what she's feeling right now. It's not really a way of clapping back. It's more so just wanting sympathy.
Yeah, she feels bad that people are mean to her.
It's wanting people to feel bad for responding to what she has put out there into the public.
Weird, as she would say.
Weird. So we're not going to do that again.
We're not going to do that again. Is this...
It's so weird.
She has such a very, unnatural demeanor.
Yeah.
Weird. She's very online. She's very Reddit, Tumblr poisoned.
It's all Taylor Swift's fault for being a fan of Tumblr.
Yeah, Taylor is very active on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Is she really?
Yes.
She has been for a long time.
Yeah.
Still? I thought they got rid of Tumblr.
No, Tumblr's still there.
Still around.
A lot of people flooded back to Tumblr when Elon took over.
Still gasping for air.
Yeah. So right now she's doing that, but it's in the
every
news.
girl who wears biker shorts and an oversized sweatshirt and white sneakers thinks that she's Princess Diana. It's so annoying.
Yeah. My mom loved Princess
They saw
Diana.
one paparazzi photo of Princess Diana wearing this outfit, and they thought, this is the look.
They know what happened to Princess Diana, right?
They
Not good things.
I'm not sure if they even do. A lot of them might not even know. A lot of people these days don't even know. But these types of ongoing struggles are going to be a problem as long as we hire weird activists to lead our TV shows and movies.
Part of me thinks that the weird activist stuff is going to always be a thing with people that are artists. It's kind of always been a thing with people that are artists.
But now there's just because everyone has more access to them.
Yeah, and also what should happen is people can do their stuff, right? But they should stop making it a public thing. If you want to go and work with Habitat for Humanity and you're an actor and you got some off time and you want to go build houses and stuff, great. That's great. Awesome.
They
cool.
never actually do that though. They never go actually do stuff. They go to galas and they go to balls and then they
go to Ukraine.
They go to Ukraine. Yeah, never mind.
And
They go to
that's all social justice stuff. It's all slacktivism. It's all stuff that they're doing on their Twitter account or on their social media account. They're not doing anything, and it's I feel like it's a sign of the times, because it's in vogue nowadays. And I think that it's possible that Gen Z might get over it, and we might see an end to this in the next 10 or so years. But it ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
We've got one from Victor Von Durp. He said there are advantages to being with an obese woman, Phil. She gets mad, go upstairs. You just bought yourself half an hour to prepare for the fight. Downside, bedroom. If you're on the bottom, you might die. Choose carefully.
Or what you do is you go upstairs, and then when she goes upstairs, you go downstairs, and then you go back upstairs, and eventually she's thin. If you just do it enough times, what you gotta do is you gotta make her angry enough to want to follow you, and then you just trick her into exercising. That's what you do. It's perfect. It'll work every single time. I promise. And you're right. Look, actors and actresses and musicians have been activists for years. That's nothing new. Slacktivism, at least back in the day, they had to give money to charities and get the tax break to appear like they were good people.
Or they had to go to a studio to do something to talk, do a PSA or whatever. Now they can just do it from their, they literally get a self-absorbed inspiration and be like, ooh, I'm going to go ahead and film myself singing Imagine or whatever and let everybody know how great I am.
Gosh. Do you think that there's a, because I was thinking about this the other day, the last time they had a We Are the World type song was when Haiti had that, when the I don't remember what natural disaster it was. Earthquake in Haiti in 2013 or 2012, something like that. And they re-recorded We Are the World. Canada did their own version of it. If they
Disney Channel did their own version.
If they did that now, I feel like everyone would just crap on it.
I really do think that modern society right now would have a cynical push, would have a lot of cynical pushback on stuff like that. That stuff flew in the 80s. I don't even think that it flew in 2013 or whenever that actually happened.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people didn't notice that it happened, but if it came out now, I think that it would get spread around more, and it would be
a more united front around the celebrities back then.
There
right?
wasn't a cell phone in everyone's pocket.
Don't you think it's weird that following these interviews Rachel Zegler has done, where Gal Gadot is right beside her, saying the same things, if not interjecting to say even worse things, like she's not gonna be saved by the prince. Why is all of the hate getting directed at Rachel Zegler? Why isn't Gal Gadot getting hate?
Because Gal Gadot's hot.
Because Gal Gadot smiles and everybody forgets. Gal Gadot smiles instantly and everybody forgets. And everyone's like, did she say something?
She has equally venomous ideas about the original Snow White.
But I think it might be that she's been around longer and these ideas seem to be new and just related to this project. So people are taking more of a wait and see approach. Like if it keeps happening past this project, it might become more of a thing. But right now, what she's got working against her is the movie, or is the Imagine song that she made the mistake of recording. Her public.
Yeah, it is.
She's literally culpable for that.
Mary does have a point, because Gal Gadot is like the Teflon actress. Like, stuff just bounces off her.
Yeah, she's allowed to. She's somehow allowed to just make things that piss everybody off.
And also, everybody responded saying, Rachel Zegler is just a child. You can't do this to her.
She's a 22-year-old child.
When she's standing next to Gal Gadot, she looks like she's 12 years old.
Yeah, she does. I really do think that Gal Gadot is just built. She also had some comments back in the day that got taken really well, where she said, we can't shame boys if we want, when they were doing the Wonder Woman press junket, she basically said, they're like, oh, this is a great movie for girls, and she's like, it's not really supposed to be for girls, it's supposed to be for everyone. And people that might have won her a lot of goodwill back then, right? And people liked her as Wonder Woman. She did fine as Wonder Woman, but she just, for some reason, she's just so likable. She's so likable.
The character and the writing in Wonder Woman, like the fish out of water story, it was perfect for her too. Super endearing. She was super cute. You're just like, oh my God. It was as far as origin stories go, that type of fish out of water story with Gal Gadot being the character,
because she's so likable.
Yeah, totally. So the super charismatic, super likable. Yeah, 100%.
I loved when Honest Trailers did their thing about it, and they said, listen, is her accent forces everybody else in the movie to have to try to have an accent that doesn't really make sense, because
she didn't hide her accent.
No, she kept her accent in that movie, and everyone loves that. Everyone loves.
Ana
de
de Armas doesn't get rid of her accent.
No, you can't. A lot of people can't.
She was from, she's supposed to be from an island away from the rest of the population, so an accent that's different to her other co-stars makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wonder Woman is canonically Israeli.
They would love saying that too. They love saying that. Somebody will draw a picture of Wonder Woman blocking Netanyahu, protecting Netanyahu or something like that.
A picture of Wonder Woman lighting a menorah.
I wouldn't be surprised. She throws the lasso of truth around a menorah and pulls it towards her.
Just a picture of Wonder Woman just smashing Palestinian kids in the face.
Wonder Woman appears in the Gaza Strip. Just no. We can't do that, ladies and gentlemen. We can't do that. It's not going to happen. All right, guys. Also, on top of that, they say Rachel Zegler's Snow White, the remake is being called a disgrace by a former Disney employee whose father was actually the director of the original 1937 animated Snow White.
And this man is 91, so
he's old.
That should tell you it's been a while since this movie came out.
And he used the word woke in a sentence because 91-year-olds know the word woke.
That's blackpilling enough to know that a 91-year-old man who has gone through the trials and tribulations of living on this earth for this long knows what the word woke is / means. You don't deserve that.
Yes.
You don't deserve to live to see this time.
He's just happy to wake up every day, so he knows what the word woke means. He's just happy to not be dead.
Yeah.
It says wait.
He said her views misunderstand the film. Younger people have never seen the original and don't know what they're talking about. It's a whole different concept. I totally disagree with it. I know my dad and Walt would also very much disagree with it. I think it's pathetic that people feel that way. These are art forms in the world of film today. The original film was done with good taste when it was written. I disagree with the whole concept, but I know Disney is getting into that mode. He called it a disgrace what they're doing, trying to do something new with something that was such a great success earlier. Well, that's late stage capitalism.
Late stage capitalism.
I'm afraid of what they're going to do with the early films. Their thoughts are just so radical now. They change the stories. They change the thought processes of the characters. They just aren't the original stories anymore. They're making up new woke things. And I'm just not into any of that. I find it a bit insulting that they may have done with some of these classic films. There's no respect for what Disney did and what my dad did. I think Walt and he would be turning in their graves.
I'm picturing like a 91-year-old on an iPhone, like on Urban Dictionary,
Woke.
looking up the term woke, and I love it. Like
With his character size on the phone, like blown up, so there's like one character per.
My dad
frame.
has very large character size on his phone. He does.
W.
My dad just got his first smartphone.
If he knew, if his dad and this is Walt's kid.
His dad knew and worked with Walt Disney.
All right, so there's a possibility that he's not too fond of communists.
Yeah.
So it could be that he's dialed in because of the leftism contained in that.
He's just out here fighting commies every day.
You
That's what it
know.
is. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, Bob Iger has come up. This is my favorite headline because it's just. Okay, I got to read this to you guys. He says, they're going to improve the quality of their films. They're going to improve the quality of their films by reducing both the number of titles they release and the amount of money they're going to spend on each of those movies.
They're going to improve the quality by spending less.
And making less and spending less. Now, if you were going to tell me that you were going to make less and focus more of your money and effort onto a couple of very, very specific properties, I might buy you. But this just looks like cost cutting to me. That's what that looks like to me. I just,
maybe he misspoke.
I don't think that that's actually what happened.
Well, I mean, they're cutting production because there's just not the demand for it. Obviously, if people aren't watching stuff and the reviews are bad, then I imagine it's not a good idea to keep making stuff that bums people out.
Yeah, this was a quote. He says, "First, the company was completely restructured, restoring creativity to the center of our business," he said. Meanwhile, he's like sitting over here throwing darts at like people on strike. He's throwing darts at pictures of striking groups.
He's throwing darts at a Rachel Zegler dartboard.
He says, we made important management changes and efficiency improvements to create a more cost-effective, coordinated, and streamlined approach to our operations. Well, if it's to be believed that the catering budget on The Mandalorian was higher than the entire budget of Battlestar Galactica, I would say you had some streamlining.
When you get to that gross amount of money being poured into those projects, it's about making the people involved feel important.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
And on top of that, like, there's just no excitement. Like, people were like arguing about Ahsoka, but like even a year ago, when things were already bad, like people were at least kind of excited for Ahsoka. Now they're not. Like,
I saw that the Ahsoka has like a girl power crew though.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, if they'd had like if it was like what's it? The one about the Bothans, the spy, Rogue One. If they had a cast like Rogue One, where Ahsoka was the lead, and there was like men and women in it, fine. But like when it's the whole girl power thing, you turn people off. Especially nowadays, it's like there's a significant portion of the audience for Star Wars and stuff like that will give it the benefit of the doubt if it doesn't look like they're trying to shove a narrative down people's throats. People are excited about, what is it, Rebel Moon or whatever is the.
I'm excited about Rebel Moon.
Yeah, but that's
not Star Wars, but I'm excited. About it.
It's built the Star Wars universe, isn't it? Though
no, it's not. It's Netflix.
It was originally written to be part of the Star Wars universe. It was rewritten to not be.
See that? Like today, I was reading something that said that he pitched that to Warner Brothers several times and got turned away.
Okay.
So like
after rewriting it,
I'm fairly excited about that. But yeah, like also I want to play this clip here from Ryan Long. Okay, here guys, I got to show you guys this one. This one's good. Let's refresh.
A big focus on her love story with a guy who
Says Disney executive responds to Snow White press tour.
literally stalks her. Weird.
Rachel, John from Disney here. Saw that you're doing press, getting out there. Love the men are bad stuff, down with the patriarchy, with that. Just thought we'd have a quick little chat about potentially toning it a tiny bit down on calling the prince a creepy predator. Men are trash, slapping myself right now. Not a fan personally. Oh, another one just got sent to me here.
I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
You really just out here shitting on the property, huh?
Never revisited Snow White again.
Imagine we had Fast and Furious 9 coming out, and all the press was telling them how bad Fast and Furious 1 through 8. The movie about cars, very male-driven cast. Yes, not a fan.
And then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like.
And you are discouraging people from going on the ride.
Was terrified of it.
Are you familiar, Rachel, with how this company makes money? And she's gone. Okay, we're gonna need to get Xi Jinping on the phone. And Dave, bring me my chapstick, because I'm about to suck some rod.
I love Ryan Long.
He's great.
But that's right. Like you can't. All those were like in like 2 interviews. Wouldn't you feel bad about yourself? Like about
I love
like
that he endearingly calls him Xi Jinping.
it made me laugh. It made me laugh. And Rachel Zegler's really setting the company back. But it's
Do you
feels
think
like
they've
they're
poisoned the water so much that just the fact that Ahsoka is a female-led show is what turns people off and makes it think it's feminist, regardless of content?
What it is when you do that now. It used to be like a novelty, right? When I say that because I was watching. What was I watching the other day that had a character? Oh, I was watching an episode of Longmire. Or no, I'm sorry, of Jericho, the show Jericho with. Go ahead.
I want to say one thing real quick. My take is not because it's female led. It's the whole girl power, the whole like the leading cast. It's not just one like the leading person. It's the whole team.
I think it's feminist because there's a woman in it.
The idea here is like now it used to be back in the day that it was a novelty. Now when you do it, you have to earn back the audience's trust. I mean, you're not starting from zero. You're starting from a net negative every time you do that. I was watching an episode of the show Jericho the other day. It's from like 2006, and there's a character in the show that's deaf. And has a hard time speaking, and it's written into the story. Back in 2006, you give them the benefit of the doubt. What you say is, you're like, look, this writer clearly had an interesting idea for this character because you didn't feel like it would have been mandated by the studio to have the character be like that. Right? So you're like, why would the writer include it if he didn't want to write about the subject matter? Now, when they put like a strong independent woman that doesn't need no man, or they include a character that's disabled or something like that, a lot of times you don't give them the benefit of the doubt. You assume that this was brought to them by the studio and that it wasn't brought from a place of creativity. It was brought from a place of either studio activism or director activism rather than an actual creative desire to use that character or that group in that way within the story.
Yeah.
So like when I watch it, it's just sad because I look back at all that old stuff and you're like, you see those things and you're like, or even when they did I don't remember what year, somebody can help me out. John Wick came out in 2014. I don't remember what year the sequel came out in, but in that movie, they had Ruby Rose's character be mute. So she signs the whole movie in John Wick 2. You didn't feel like it was just a studio mandate that they had to do that. One, because Ruby Rose is not deaf or mute, but because it felt like they had a creative way to write that character. Whereas now you would assume that some studio executive came in and said, we need X amount of this and X amount of that.
Yeah, if you make her mute, it doesn't count because she's not speaking on screen.
Exactly.
You're not giving the right part to the female.
Are you going to watch the John Wick, the Continental, the show when it comes out?
No, and it
doesn't have the same vibe.
No, it's just because of episodic TV. I can't watch episodic TV, and if I sit down to like binge something, I end up scrolling on the internet anyways.
Yeah, I have a much easier time reviewing movies here than I do with like we watched Velma, but it was once a week, and even then it felt like I was having my eyes gouged out each and every day. So, thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.